and welcome back to the week of What If. Today's What If comes to us from Trevor. Was it Trevor or Trevin Young? Trevin. It was Trevin Young. Don't have the book right in front of me with the name, but I knew it was Trevor or Trevin. I think it's Trevin, though. Who asked the question, what if Goku wound up in the Percy Jackson universe? So, several ideas we have to deal with here is, first off, obviously the Percy Jackson universe is not the same as the Dragon Ball Z universe. Let's just say through some wormhole shenanigans, which can happen in Dragon Ball, dimensional hopping, whatever, he winds up in the Percy Jackson Earth where the gods all exist, so forth and so on. And for the sake of argument, to keep Goku relatively honest to his, I don't know, let's call it Japanese origin, he'll land in Earth's Japan there. By the way, we don't know, do we? I think, if I'm not mistaken, other gods, pantheons exist within the Percy, like the Egyptian gods exist in the Percy Jackson universe. Am I correct on that? Let me just double check that. Gods in Percy Jackson. Okay. Oop, nope. Let's see here. Greek gods. Oh, gods in Percy Jackson. Okay. Are there other gods? And let's see here. Well, it's just giving me the Greek gods right now. Let's see here. Greek gods. Well, I guess is the Redorian wiki is what you want to go to. There's gods, Olympians. There are other minor gods who serve smaller but necessary purposes in the world. So it seems like the Greek gods are the main gods in the Percy Jackson world, although there are minor gods as well that do. Oh, here we go. Minor gods and goddesses. I'm wondering if that is the the pantheon we're dealing with when it comes to, because I could have sworn there's Egyptian gods as well within the Percy Jackson lore. It's just mostly focused on the no, all these guys are mostly just Greek and Roman, respectively. Anyway, I digress again. I could have swore there was Egyptian gods in this world, but we all make mistakes. Let me try. Let me just type in Egyptian gods. I'm delaying this far more than I'm. Whatever. We're just gonna focus on the Greek stuff. So, anyway, let's say Goku lands. Now, Goku entering the planet, entering heaven, whatever. Entering their zone of command, would that even send red flags up? I mean, meteors come into Earth all the time. Most of them are so small they never even touch down. The few that do are never really causing enough damage to really warrant even the news than anything else. Every once in a while, on a rare occasion, you do have a meteor really touch down and really cause some damage, but it's so rare. I can't even recall the last time that ever happened in recorded history, and I mean recorded history, that since we've been really documenting this shit. But so I'm not even sure if the gods would pay much attention to it. I think a couple of them would notice, and they notice that it's not a meteor. It seems to be some sort of vehicle of some kind. And when Goku was found by whoever he's found by it, and let's just say he hits his head. For the sake of a relatively even argument, let's say he hits his head. They're like, it was a child that landed on Earth. What do you mean it was a child? And by the way, why don't we even scale Goku up to Percy's age, which would be, I believe he's around 16, 17 by Percy Jackson. Percy Jackson, hold on. Percy Jackson, how old was he in that movie? I know it's like, they say by his 18th birthday, things will get explained. But I can't recall how old he was at the beginning of the series. Percy Jackson. How old was he at the beginning of the series? Character, story. Let's see. Friends, family. Let's do characters in the novels. Obviously, you got Percy Jackson himself. I should probably try not Wikipedia, but an actual wiki for this. Percy Jackson. Anyway, if I remember correctly, he's in his mid-teens. But he's got to hit about, I believe it's like 18 or 21 to really learn about his heritage. So we'll put in Goku for around there when the story actually happens. So Goku gets adopted. Everything's generally fine until, and the gods are just keeping an eye on this child that fell from Earth. Like, what did the universe send them? Something? Who knows? But he doesn't seem to be a threat at the moment. So let's just keep going and doing our thing. Well, then the full moon happens one night, and Goku's awake to see it. And that's when he goes, pun not intended, but I guess now it is intended, ape shit, and starts wreaking havoc on the world, or at least in the general area of where he was living. This does bring the gods' attention, because the Percy Jackson gods, I mean, you get your Zeuses, your Hades, your Poseidons, and all that. They're powerful, to be sure. If the lore is correct, and like a lot of what Zeus and a lot of those gods did, they are insanely powerful. However, as far as I know, they don't really have the power to end the world on their own power. Goku, if he gets strong enough, absolutely does have that power, even in the Dragon Ball era. Because if Roshi can blow up a moon, Goku can blow up the planet. Especially once you get into, say, like Dragon Ball Z territory, early Z. Once you get to early Z and beyond, Goku can blow the planet up, no problem. So, yeah. They immediately take notice of this giant ape monster. And then they notice it disappears. Like, where did it go? And instead, they see, unfortunately, it's probably Goku's dead family, or whatever his adopted parentage was, a Grandpa Gohan-like figure, if not a Grandpa Gohan. And the young boy, once again, like, and they're like, what happened here? Was it this boy? And so Goku is then living on his own in the world. Every once in a while, though, he does end up meeting a stranger. Like, he still probably lives out, like, by himself, but he actually does know how to interact with people a bit more effectively, because we're dealing with a more modern world here. And he probably knows how to go into town. And one thing he was probably told was not to ever look at the moon. Which, by the way, do you think Goku ever did look at the moon after Grandpa Gohan died? He had no memory of what happened. We know that. So he had no memory of not to look at the moon. My guess is it never happened, just based on the way the landscape is around there, because it would be a lot more destroyed otherwise. I'm guessing Goku just went to bed early, and it only works with a full moon anyway. So, without a full moon, which only happens once a month, for only I think it's like 2 or 3 day stretch that the moon is actually fully full. So it wouldn't be hard for him to just avoid it, or or unintentionally avoid it. So Goku would still have interactions with people, I think. He might be going to town for supplies every now and then. Most likely he'd be doing like a barter system, because Goku doesn't actually have a job here. He also doesn't really know how to rule let's call it social skills for a job. Not social skills. He doesn't know what a job really is. I mean, he does know, but what would his skills be and what he could do? He could do farming, and maybe that is what he kind of does. Maybe that's what Goku has learned to do. Maybe he also is like pelts training for animals that he's eating. Now, granted, because we are in the real world Japan area here, the wildlife is not going to be exactly the same as it is in the original, with giant F-off tuna and dinosaurs running around. But still, there are deer. He can still do a lot of fishing. Seafood is an option. Bird. So there's definitely food for Goku to eat. Granted, his appetite would still be the same, so he eats a lot. Probably eats a lot of fruit as well. Rice, bread, whatever he's growing. So he's probably doing a combination of minor farming and pelt trading, animal cloth, whatever he needs to for the amount of money he has. Now, granted, he probably lives enough off the grid that he's not paying taxes, so that's good for Goku. But yeah, he's mostly living on his own. Every once in a while, though, a person might show up to keep an eye on this kid who they can sense doesn't have divinity in them, at least not God key in any way, but does seem to have innate hidden power within them. And they notice the tail, which is very weird. Goku quickly realized, probably going as the time went on, that the tail kind of freaked people out because he was the only one with it. So he learned to hide it. He kind of wears it around almost like a belt, or he wears something around his tail, like a sash or something, so no one sees it. Pretty easy to hide after a while. So Goku would be doing his own thing. Eventually, though, the whole issue. Let's start with Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, because that is the first book in the series, if I remember correctly, since that was the first movie as well, and that's what the new series is based off of. At least the first season, or half part of the first season. Goku, how strong is Goku as a 15, 16-year-old? And first off, is he even still that short little kid? Because we know Goku went through a monster growth spurt between the end of the King Piccolo saga and the beginning of the last Budokai saga. I believe 23rd Budokai. No, 24th Tenchi Budokai, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, he's 25th or 23rd. Anyway, he went through a monster growth spurt. I would imagine he's probably hit at that point now where he is going through the growth spurt. Like he's not the full 5 whatever Goku said. How tall is Goku again? Because Goku, despite how he's portrayed, is actually not that tall. Goku height. How tall is Goku? He's only like 5. Let's see, he's like 5'10", 5'11". He's 5'9". Like Goku is not a tall dude. I'm taller than Goku by a decent bit, actually. But you know what? I think part of that is his hair. His hair is almost like a foot tall. That's why he looks as tall as he does. So yeah, I mean, he's maybe like below 4 foot range now. He's still growth spurting, but he's getting there. But how strong is Goku now? Has he figured out that he does turn into the ape during the full moon? I think at some point the gods have been paying attention to him and saw that it did maybe accidentally happen again, and luckily no one got hurt. But I think maybe even a god stepped in to stop him. Maybe Ares, the god of war, and found that this monster, this boy that turns into this ape creature, is insanely strong. He was able to beat him, but ultimately the boy passed out and woke up. And so, in essence, what they did is they kind of subtly approached Goku about it as they slowly kept getting towards him, getting to know him, finding that he is a very good-hearted kid. He's a nice guy. He likes to help people. He also likes a good fight. But they knew he needed to know that he was turning into this monster. So they basically arranged it in a way where they start talking about, there's legends of a monster around here. Yeah, that monster killed my family. It's like, really? It's like, oh, where? What happened in what happens when you look at the full moon? I don't remember. I kind of go blank. Long and short, eventually Goku kind of somehow learns from these people that he was that monster and that he could turn into this monster. But maybe it's a power he can learn to control with enough practice and time. There's a place for people like that, Goku. Perhaps you'd like to go. I do know some people. I might be able to arrange it at some point. Really? No, that'd be great. But what about my home? It'll be here when I get back. I'll make sure to have people watch over it so no one tries to take it. Yeah, they've been trying to kind of claim that I'm not paying tax or anything, but I've lived off the land for years. It's like, interesting. Well, I'll have someone to look into that. And so that's where we actually meet up. Goku's probably been at Camp Half-Blood for a little, like around a year. Like he's a permanent resident because he doesn't have a home. Whereas the others aren't technically permanent residents. They don't have to stay at Camp Half-Blood. They can leave for a while if they need to, but they do stay there for a good long while. Goku, though, is like a permanent resident until he finally decides to leave on his own. And Goku has been training with all these kids for about a year when Percy shows up. And, they talk, Percy goes through the motions of meeting Chiron. I am Chiron here. Which, by the way, I haven't watched the new version yet. I do like Pierce Brosnan as Chiron. And then they did, what was it, Rupert Grint as him in the sequel. Look, I had no problem with Rupert Grint. I think that would have worked perfectly fine in the original too. I'm just like, you gave me Pierce Brosnan in the first one, now you give me Rupert Grint. I'm like, I don't buy this. I want my Bruce. I just like Pierce Brosnan. Like, no. Anyway, so Percy's is getting along with a lot of people, all that, and then the mechanical bull attacks. And by the way, what was the name of the girl who was daughter of Athena? No, not daughter of Athena. The daughter of Ares in the second one. What a bitch she was. I remember seeing that with Mark years ago. That was one of the earliest reviews we ever did. And we were watching it like, wow, they don't make this character likable. Like, they really make her the most arrogant, bullheaded, no pun intended, girl character you could have here. So, yeah, like, there's no real, I mean, not like, I can't say there's no redemption. I'm just saying I don't buy her turn nearly. I'm like, bull. But anyway, like, and I'm now trying to remember. Let me hold on. Percy Jackson, Lightning Thief. Give me a second here. Percy Jackson, Lightning Thief. So Lightning Thief. I'm trying to remember because I want to say the mechanical bull that attacked Camp Half-Blood was the first one, but that might have actually been the second one. And okay, Percy, I'm not giving you a convert. Percy is 16 years old. Okay, no. What happened first was they were attacked by a Minotaur. Percy discovers that Bruce is and uses it to fight the Minotaur, killing it with his own horn. Okay, and then Chiron Centaur, including Camp Hamlet, reveals that he's the Minotaur, Dr. Sally, the Underworld trade. Okay, so the gold bull was not, the mechanical bull was not in the first one. Hades shows up, and Goku, who is betraying, is watching, and he can sense, hey, since this is this is bad. And so he actually offers to go with Percy on the mission. And Chiron said, you know, the adventures always happen in the threes, Goku. I can't let you go with them. And Goku just, and they leave off saying, yeah, Goku looks at it and says, you know exactly what I sense. I sensed how powerful Hades was. They're going to need help. You can't just expect them to face Hades on their own. It's what they must do. And then Goku kind of flips in the air. Yeah, maybe. But here's the thing. I kind of can do what I want. He just kind of disappears. And Goku just, damn it all. Because to this point, they still don't know what Goku is. They think he might be a god, but they're not. I mean, we don't even know if they think aliens exist or not in the Percy Jackson world. I don't know. But Goku does decide to honor it. But if they really got into the nitty gritty, he'll step in. How strong has Goku gotten since being at Camp Half-Blood? In base form, he can easily go toe-to-toe with a god. I mean, he could already probably go toe-to-toe with a god as it was, but now that he's actually legitimately had training, first off, he can whip the ass of anyone at Camp Half-Blood, save for maybe daughters of like the big three, or children of the big three. But that's mostly because he's physically more powerful than them, and faster, and can even figure out Ki blasts. If he goes into full-on Uzaru, well then, or whatever he's now learned at this point, well then he could pretty much match any of the gods in straight power. But anyway, he keeps an eye. Thanks to studying with Chiron, Goku has learned that the Medusa's lair he shouldn't go in. Then there's the Hydra fight. Goku almost considers stepping in there, but he then sees they use the Medusa head to take care of things. The casino, the hotel casino, or the Lotus Eaters. Goku, I think, is able to get them out of there and shows up. They say, wait, who are you? Oh, sorry, I meant to introduce myself. I'm Goku. It's like, yeah, this is Goku. He's a kind of a permanent resident there. Whose son are you? Don't really know, really. I was adopted. It's complicated. It's like, wait, who is this guy? And Goku's just kind of wandering, like looking over the river Styx. He's like, whoa, this is amazing. But he's also he's serious. Like, he's kind of stone cold. Like, he can sense what's coming. He's getting ready. And so, and they're asking, wait, who is this guy? Like, he moves so fast I couldn't see him. Is he like a kid of Hermes or something? It's like, no, we don't know, really. He just, according to the Chiron, he just showed up one day, just landed on the planet. Like, what, like an alien? And they're like, eh. And so they arrive, and again, Goku's hanging back, waiting to see. Goku's even doing this, like, kind of hanging back, seeing what will happen. And and so they says, like, look, I'm Percy. You brought the lightning bolt. It's like, wait, no, I didn't. I just wanted you to give my mother back. Then why are you here? Well, I thought if I pleaded my case, I didn't steal the lightning bolt. Well, that's not a bad idea, except I'm Hades. and he releases his mom. And this is where I think Goku actually does get a chance to shine. Like when Hades gets the lightning bolt, and he's just like, he was like, stay back. Like, wait, you can't do anything. And all of a sudden, he tags Ares straight, like, it's like, oh, you bloody, and just fires lightning. Now Goku, though, because we know Goku can dodge lightning, and by this point, he will be faster than lightning. It's because Dragon Ball Goku can dodge lightning, and this is well above Dragon Ball Goku right now. He's just dodging, then just gut checks him. Oh, here, take it. It's like, oh, you brat. I knew we should have opted to kill you when we had the chance. What? Oh, we knew about you from the start, boy. But we weren't sure who you were, if you were anything. But the truth is, in our world, and he just turns into his demon. You're nothing, and it just and he's just. And Goku's just, get out of here! Blast Hades, and then just, him and Hades are now juking it out into hell. And honestly, that is a pretty boss concept right there. It's like, you're strong, and they leave. Meanwhile, Hades is like, you're strong, boy, but there's nothing you can do against the Lord of the Underworld. All of a sudden, he goes again for a fireball, blasts it, Goku just, and all of a sudden, the power just erupts. What? And there's Goku standing in the realized Akari form that he spent the year or two training with. And now he can access that without turning into a Zoro. It's like, yeah. It's like, and it's like, I've learned a lot about you Godsing, and it's going to that camp. And I can know one thing about all of you. You guys are so full of it. And he just comes in and starts beating the ever-loving shit out of Hades. He can't kill Hades. I mean, technically Hades is immortal. I guess. Well, I mean, the gods can actually be killed, but Goku isn't even trying to kill him. And so Goku just, boom, beats the living hell out of him, and there's that. Meanwhile, Persephone's hooking up with Percy's friend, satyr friend. It's like, and so Goku walks in on that. It's like, whoa, okay, sorry. And so that's the end of Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief. The question then becomes, would Goku play any factor in the Sea of Monsters? And that's really the last I'm going to do, because I know there's many, many books. I've never read any of the books is the problem. I've only seen the movies, so that's really what we're going off here. I think again, I know the Metal Bull shows up in the Percy Jackson Sea of Monsters. Sea of Monsters. There we go. Sea of Monsters. So, there we go. So let's see. Zeus sacrifices form a tree, and therefore, okay. After an attack by a close, the bull attacks the camp, and this is where I remember the daughter of Ares sucking, because she just like is thrown around a ragdoll a lot. But Percy. Goku shows up, and this is like a year later, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is supposed to be taking place a year later. And so Goku is again a year older, a year stronger. He just stands like, "You want me to take this Percy? I got it!" And then just, right on, woo. So yeah, they go set off. And again, at this point, Goku can fly. In fact, maybe even Goku's figured out how to create Nimbus. That'd be kind of cool. That would actually be really cool, studying some of the gods' ways, even being gifted. Maybe he got like a thank you from the gods for kind of beating on Hades a little bit, and they gifted him with Nimbus. That could be a good way to introduce Nimbus into this world. He got it as a gift from the gods, so he's joining them on the boat with the hippocamp, and yeah, so it's all good there, and he's joining. All of a sudden. They unfortunately end up. Now, what was it? Then discover, what was it? Clarice and the monster, not Stunk. What is the name of the monster? Consumed by, Charlbus? Is that the name of the monster? She with the sea I always thought it was like Calliope, or am I pronouncing it wrong? Is it pronounced Calliope? Charybdis? Is it Kuchapaya? I don't know how to. But her opposite was Cilia. That's who I'm thinking of. Well, anyway, yeah, she's a giant, basically kind of like a giant monster kraken thing in the water, and they're gonna get swallowed up. Except Goku can outright save them. Well, kind of. See, it's pure of heart can only ride Nimbus. That was the stipulation the gods made, and luckily Goku qualifies. I do not think anyone on that boat, save the Cyclops, is pure of heart. Percy and was it Annabelle? I don't actually see them being pure of heart. I don't see them being like evil sinners, premarital sex, all that. No. But I actually don't think they're pure of heart because Bulma, for example, is a good person. She's a bratty, selfish little kid, but she's a good person. Can't ride Nimbus. Goten could ride Nimbus, and Gohan could ride Nimbus, but they're Chi-Chi can ride Nimbus, but they're all very pure and innocent. There's a lack of purity, I think, with both Percy and Annabelle. Not with his brother, Cyclops. What was the name of the brother anyway? What was his name? Percy's consults the Oracle. Tyson. That's the name of it. That was the name of it. And so Goku instead has to go and fly in, and that's where they find Clarice. That's her name. In the month they work together to shoot the hole in the gut of the monster to get out. Goku and she asks, "What the hell are you doing here?" It's like, "What? I can't help. I love going on these adventures. They're awesome." And it's like, look, this is my adventure. I can do it myself, okay? It's like, really? To which Goku surprisingly says, not trying to throw shade, but just trying to say, really? So getting swallowed by the monster was part of your plan? To which Percy, Tyson, and Annabelle are just like, because Goku is still Goku. He'll throw out shade without meaning to throw shade. And Clarice is like, for a daughter of Ares, I thought you'd be better. I thought you'd be a little bit more prepared strategically. I'm just saying. And so Goku's like, well, if we need a hole blown, I can definitely help with that. And so he's like, tell me where you want it. All right. And let's just say the Kamehameha wave was something he learned through like other studies. So Kamehameha, stand back. It just blows a hole far bigger than Clarice's ship would have put in. And then they get out of there. And so they do make it to, the Polyphemus lair off the coast of Florida, where the fleece is kept. Luke ambushes them and shoots at Percy with a crossbow for not handing over the fleece. But Tyson takes the boat and falls in the roaring stream. Okay, so because I'm rereading this verbatim, them being able to capture them would be nigh impossible with Goku. But maybe, just maybe, they have something on call, like a net made of some special fibers, to be able to keep Goku contained, at least for a little bit. Or maybe they just, knock him out with, a dart. Goku, maybe it's Goku who actually takes the hit. And I figured we'd have to take you out first, Goku. That's why I tipped that with a little something. Hydra Venom. From what I've heard, it's not going to be able to kill you, but it's going to keep your ass knocked down for a while. Crap. Guy, and he just falls, Goku! And he falls into the river. And so they're all captured. Obviously, Kronos, Kronos wakes up is the big thing here that happened. So I'm trying to remember I'm reading this as verbatim of how it happened. So as Luke begins reviving Kronos from the sarcophagus, Annabelle encourages Percy to take leadership. Team escapes. Percy fights Luke over the fleece. Luke defeats Percy, but is saved by Tyson. The survivor's injured by healing by the water. As he is beside his son, Kronos rises from the sarcophagus and consumes Luke, Grover, and several other demigods for battling Percy. Percy realizes that his sword is the cursed blade of the prophecy, which was convenient, and slices Kronos into pieces, imprisoning the Titan in the sarcophagus once again. Those eaten are regurgitated while Luke landing in the Cyclops' lair, would presumably eaten. Annabelle, though, was impaled by the Manicore, but she's resurrected with the fleece. Anyway, so that's how the original ended. I think here, once again, Percy is defeated by Luke. However, all of a sudden, Luke gets blasted. And it's like, Goku! It's like, sorry, guys. It took me a little longer to wake up than I thought from that. I'm still a little woozy. And so, Goku, and then unfortunately, Kronos wakes up. It's like, guys? grandchildren, he starts eating. I remember he ate Grover. I do remember that. And so Goku finally goes to, by the way, to note, I remember liking the design of Kronos in that movie. It was a weird but unique take on him. So Goku powers up, and he consumes Goku too until Goku powers up in his mouth and basically blows his head off. But obviously his head starts to kind of like reform because he's kind of made of this stalactite ceramic material. And Goku and him are duking out. The problem is, as a Titan, he's actually even stronger than Zeus and Hades. At least stronger than one of the big three. So even Goku is struggling against this guy who keeps reforming. However, Goku just says, "Give me back my friends!" This is when Percy realizes what his blade is. Goku goes in. Percy's cutting into Kronos. And then Goku bursts out of his stomach with everyone. Oh, and then Percy puts him in the sarcophagus. Annabelle's injured. Then injured by the Manticore, they use the Golden Fleece, and then they bring back they heal the tree and bring back the Child of Zeus. I think that's a good place to end this. I'm not doing a part 2 of this because I would have to read the other books. First off, I have to read the books to begin with. I've never read the books. They seem like fun books. They would have been up my alley if I was younger, but yeah, I just don't have the time to be reading a full novel for a What If. I could pull from the internet. I could just get the general synopsis, but I don't think you guys really want that. I knew enough about the series from the movies to be able to kind of do both of these. But anyway, I digress. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow for, what are we on, part 7? I think of Joey having red eyes. Basically, the best friends duke it out for the title of the King of Games. Joey versus Yugi tomorrow, everyone. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you folks next time.